Trying to think what else I need to say, but that I didn't say last night. Looking forward to another practice today so we can get a little bit better. We obviously are really familiar with BYU, our opponent, having played them twice in the last month. So I think we know a lot about what we need to do, and they probably know a lot about what they need to do. And we definitely know it's going to be a great match. They're very big and physical and have a great block. They've done a really good job of float serving us and scored a lot of points with that serve when we were there for the MPSF finals. So our float serve reception will be really an important part of our win, hopeful win. Yeah, as always, serve and pass will be a big part of this match.
Okay, we'll go ahead and open up to questions.
John, this is sort of I mean, it's almost like a men's volleyball convention, to an extent with all the different coaches and players in town. With you and your role with the national team, is it sort of like a extra demands on your time or something, having so many different people from the sport that are around, or are you able to keep it, stripped down pretty much just to the college responsibilities?
Yeah, it's pretty stripped down. Especially now that we're in the 5th year of running the national team, I think that so many of the systems and infrastructure is put into place, so it's pretty automatic. I have a great staff down in Anaheim. They've handled, just about everything during the off season, whether that's communicating with athletes, scheduling for the summer, planning for upcoming trainings. Now we're starting to see an influx of athletes as their professional seasons have now ended, depending upon how they've done in the playoffs, and so players are coming in, and how we manage their volume as we give them recovery time and then get them geared back up. They're all handling that stuff. I haven't even had one conversation with them this week. I'm not even sure I had a conversation with them last week. So all that's pretty autonomous down there, and so in terms of your reference to everybody that's here in the convention aspect of it, I think that's true. I have received a number of texts from people that want to talk, and I've been politely deferring that, except in a couple special cases. So, yeah, it's fun to see everybody, and it's great that everybody is coming to see this match here in LA, and I think it's a wonderful experience for everybody involved in the men's game to get together and see this event, particularly here in Pauley.
Mike, I wanted to ask you a little bit about last night. With the way your middles were going off last night, and then obviously with what Christian can do, how do you balance kind of feeding the hot hand as a setter, and also trying to keep the defense guessing and spread it around?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question, because you have a lot of guys that come from past history of getting every ball and kind of being the guy, or being able to have a rhythm. And it kind of gets thrown off when you come here, because we have all these guys that can go out and change the game on any given night. So it's almost more of an adjustment on their part than mine. For me, I'm still setting a bunch of guys that can put the ball away. And it's really nice. It's a pleasure. But I'd say it's almost tougher on them to get maybe one ball here, one ball there, instead of every ball that they got on their club team or their high school team and being the guy. So maybe that's a better question for Dylan. I'm not sure. I just kind of do my own thing and hope that they can put away the balls that I give them.
Dylan, this program is one of the most decorated in the country, but you guys haven't won a national championship since 2006. So is that something that you guys think about, trying to break that streak and add to this storied legacy?
Well, obviously we want to win, and to do it here would be pretty awesome, but I don't think any of us really dwell on that since we haven't won since 2006. I mean, I was 9 years old. That was a long time ago, but that's not anything in my head that we're trying to get over the hump. I think we just focus really on our upcoming opponent and doing what we can, not that we need to do something for this university. We want to do it for each other and, of course, the university as a whole, but I think it's really about us, and we're not thinking about really that we need to win this year or something like that. We're just doing everything we can right now to be at our best.
Coach, you can, as an alum, as a former assistant at this university, does that enter your mind at all?
Oh yeah, I think it's actually not that different than maybe what we ask our athletes to do. We ask our athletes to try and not get big picture and to stay in present and play 1 point at a time volleyball. Is pretty cliche, but I think it's a good cliche. I think for me, it rolls through my brain, and then I quickly put it out. Like I don't expect our athletes to be perfect in playing 1 point volleyball. They're going to hit a ball out of bounds, and they're going to go, darn it, you know? And then I got to get back to that moment. And I think that's kind of how I'm treating the history here and the hopes of the alumni, and I think the expectation of the university where we've been so good historically. And I was a part of that. I want to be a part of that. And I want to bring that back. And that's certainly a mission of mine, and we've talked about it, and we're here to win. At the same time, I also have to understand that I have to be process-oriented too, and I have to play my own 1 point game as leader of this organization. And so for me, I've got to understand, yeah, I want to win, and yeah, I have thought about it, and yeah, I look up on that banner and think, darn, it's been a long time since there's been a number up there, and then I think I gotta run a great practice today. I gotta run a great team meeting. I gotta plan a great game plan. I gotta communicate with my athletes. I gotta do what's the best I can do with what I have in front of me in this moment. And if I do that, then those numbers will come back.
John, obviously late in the season, everyone's feeling a little bit creaky. 2 matches in 3 days.
Talking about the coaches, or yeah,
sure, the media too. Actually.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing to try and keep everyone fresh for potentially, playing all the way through Saturday? In terms of recovery and everything else.
Yeah, I think the conversation about how to manage volume and keep people fresh is a constant dialogue between the staff, strength and conditioning, the trainers. We actually had a bye week a couple weeks ago, and the truth is that this team still has some things to get better at today. We're very much a continued work in progress, and so we had a week off, and the message I was getting from the players was that when we played Stanford University, we were tired because we had that week to train, and I was like, ooh, a week, let's go, and I think we fatigued them a little bit, and so when we had this other bye week, we talked a lot about how that week would look based on what we learned from the week prior. So I think we've done actually a really good job of that in terms of understanding what we needed to get in, what the priorities were for the areas of focus and training, and how to do that in a period of time that would allow them to get better but still keep them fresh.